Hi, everybody. This is Allison Prior, and I want to talk about something a little different today, other than art and paintings, because today is April. It's April the 7th, and 2020. And as we all know, we are going through a pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, and this is for actually probably people in the future may listen to this podcast because everybody that is going through it now knows what is happening. But in 5 years, 10 years or so from now, they'll look back and they'll hear a podcast about what we went through. And they're going to see a lot of other things like newscasts and it'll be in the history books. We're going down in history. So this is our time to go down in history. This is something that has never ever happened before. We've had pandemics before and plagues, but we've never ever had to shut down the planet before. Shut down the planet. It's almost surreal. It's very hard to even understand it. That this virus is so deadly that you have to shut everything down. And you have to have people go in their homes and stay there. That's the safest place for you to go, is in your home. And so, as of today, it started around in January in other parts of the world. But in around March 15th or so, it started to spread out, coming to Canada and Newfoundland. And I'm in Newfoundland, so, and it's, we're the last, sort of spread out and came here. And so I'm not going to talk about how many deaths and how many people got sick, and because I don't know the exact numbers, so I don't want to give anything out that's not, I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm just going to let you know what I do know, that I read in the papers and what people are putting online and things like that. So what I do know is that we all have to stick together. We're all trying to stay together. We're all trying to stay in touch with each other, but we have to stay apart. So this is what we're going through right now. We all have to stay apart. We all have to stay in our homes. And it's a good thing we do have, it's a good thing we do have the internet, because at least we can, talk to people online. We can see each other. And because all the home care facilities are, shut down. They can't even have visitors. So their loved ones, what they do now is they have the iPad and they have FaceTime, and you can FaceTime with your loved ones that are in home care or, nursing homes or seniors homes. So that's a good thing. So, at least that much. But the only sad thing is that people who get sick, if any senior or any family member gets sick and they're pretty well, they get sick enough that you can't have any visitors in the hospital. So a lot of these people are actually dying alone. You can't even say goodbye to them. You can't even hold their hand, as they're dying. So it's pretty sad stuff going on there. And I don't want to, just thinking about it just blows me away. It's unbelievable. But some of the other things that are happening are, like our gas prices are really low. It's like 75 cents or something here, a liter, here in St. John's, Newfoundland. And all over the country, actually, the gas prices have gone down. So it's because people are not driving anywhere. You can't drive anywhere. You can't go anywhere, You can't go for a drive in your car, but you can't go shopping. You can't go, like I said, to the hospitals, So the gas prices are down, but it's not really much of a benefit because you can't use it. So, and, you got all the schools closed. All the schools are closed, so you can't drive your kids to school, right? Can't drive them to their hockey practices. Can't take them to their friend's house. Can't take them to the park. You can't do anything. You're in your house. You're staying in your home, and you have to pretend that you have the virus and people outside have the virus. So it's almost like a scary movie, like a Stephen King movie, where you ever see those movies where you have to stay inside and outside is like zombies or something, And that's the way it feels. Because even when you go out, when you can get out, or you have to go out, and you happen to see someone, you look at them like, oh my God, do they have the virus? Oh my God, and everybody's looking at each other really strange. I hope we can get back to normal. But and when you are outside, you got to go get a few groceries. You got to stay 6 feet from each other. And that's hard sometimes because you might be back to back and bump into each other and not realize it. But I think, but what's happening is the supermarkets are having, tape on the floor. They put tape on the floor so they can help you distance yourself. Really strange way to live now. But this won't last forever. I'm sure now when you're listening to this a year from now, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years from now, you'll say, wow, we went through that, but we got through it, and we're still here, and sad for people who are not so lucky, and gosh, that's the hardest part too, right? But, so all the stores are closed down, so then they have like a limited number of people going into the stores, and then there's lineups outside the stores, and most businesses are closed, like restaurants and all businesses that you can think of, furniture stores, dentist's office. Maybe they're taking some emergency. I don't know. I've been in the house for a long time, so I don't go out. My hubby goes out once a week to try, and we have to eat. So he has to go, and when he comes in, I'm so nervous. I'm scrubbing down the house and scrubbing down everything and making him wash his hands, and he wears gloves and all that stuff. But it's just so scary. It's really, really scary. I almost feel like I'm breathing it in sometimes. Also, all our parks and our trails and like the whole entire city is just on lockdown. It's like, it's like the Twilight Zone. It's like and if you do get out and you manage to drive somewhere that you have to go, there's no cars on the road. An odd one, because there are essential workers out there, but it's really, really strange to see a big city that's constantly cars on the road, busy, 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 busy to nothing. Then you got all the bands that had all the tours booked up all over the world. They had to cancel. All their concerts, all the festivals, all the entertainment events are canceled. Weddings, family gatherings, holidays, all kinds of things. Nobody can get together anymore. And this is April, so we're hoping things will be back to somewhat normal by, I don't know, I'm just guessing, because even the government's having a hard time knowing exactly what's going to happen, right? Because they're having a hard time with getting all these supplies, running short of supplies and masks and ventilators, and really having a hard time with that. And it's hard for the governments to keep up with, to try and help people. They're trying to help people with money, trying to come up with, people getting money who can't. I mean, people are probably going to lose their homes. They're probably going to lose, but they've probably got no mortgages. No money for the mortgage, or for, I don't know what's going to happen. Right now we're in the middle of it, see? We're right in the middle of this pandemic. We're almost to the peak. We're not even to the peak yet in some places. I don't think we're at the peak yet here in Newfoundland either. But the thing is, as it goes on, and there's no businesses, and people lost their jobs, and small restaurants, and some big, companies are going to run right out of business and not even get back. They're not even going to be able to recover. depending on how long this goes, right? How long is this going to go on? We have no idea. It could go on till June. It could go on till September. It could go on longer. We don't know. Just having to go one day at a time right now. And, it's really hard separating yourself from your family members. I think that's probably the hardest. Because that it's a possibility you could end up having it and then passing it on to your family member. And I don't know how you'd be able to live with yourself. But if you do everything you can in your power to try to stay safe, stay away from people, then you'll be able to come out of this and feel proud that you did your part. And, there's people, I don't know why they did, but they went crazy for toilet paper. I have no idea why. It was one of the biggest things of this pandemic. Ran out of toilet paper, and now we're running out of sanitizer and disinfecting supplies. And people are making their own masks now, because we got to wear masks. I think it's going to come in mandatory that you're going to have to wear masks on your face. So people are making their own. You run out of these things, and then shelves end up becoming bare. But ours are not completely bare. There seems to be a lot. I haven't been out, but I haven't seen or heard anybody complain too much yet that there's nothing around to buy. It seems like there's still lots of food and things that you need, except for the hand sanitizers. But you can certainly use soap. So even some of the other business world manufacturers and I think it was a car company, I believe, in the States were making masks, and instead of making cars, they're making masks and ventilators. I try not to watch too much of the news, so I can't say. I'm just giving you what I have and what I've seen and heard, and this is not just made up. These are things that I can see it all around me. It's all around me. I can see it, right? And I listen to the government. We have our updates every day, and I see other updates of other countries. I'm trying to keep up to date on it so I'll know how bad it is, because I want to be safe. And if there's anything I can do, make sure I'm not going to go outside. If I don't have a choice but to go outside, I'll stay in the car, or I'll wear my mask, or I'll wear my gloves and things like that. But try not to be around any people. But if I have to go get something food that I have to go, then I'm going to do everything in my power to get out and get back home as fast as I can. They also, of course, they shut down all the airlines and all the poor cruise ships are out in the middle of the ocean. The people can't even get in. They're getting sick on the ocean liners. Unbelievable. Thousands of people. They can't even get into the ports. It's like the movies that were on about Contagion, I think it was called, and they had two. It was one in 1987 and one in 1990 something, and the first one was about the cruise ship couldn't get in the port. Now that's way back then, and now we're going through that today. Gosh. And then the second one was almost exactly as what we're going through today. I can't believe it. These movie people, they it's like they predict the future almost. But yeah, the cruise ships are out there in the middle of the ocean. People are getting sick and dying on the ships, and they can't get them in, and they're sending out military hospital ships to help them. This is mind-boggling, really, everybody. It's mind-boggling. I'm talking to you as if you're listening to this from the future, okay? You might be listening to this a few years from now, because everybody's going through it now knows all this. But this is for future people. Maybe some children who are growing up and going through this now at 5, like small children, they don't understand. 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, they're like, what's going on? How come I can't go see my friends? How come I can't celebrate my birthday? So it must be hard on them trying to explain all that to them. And the parents are trying to explain it to them, and they have to do some homeschooling now too. So they it's a big burden, but all the parents are home now because they can't work, so they can help the kids with their homeschooling. And I believe they have teachers online that come out and teach them. They teach them their schooling from home on their tablets, and so instead of looking at videos, gaming videos, now they have to look at being taught online. So, but that's a good thing, that they can do that. So, then they have stadiums and recreation centers being opened up for the overflow of sick people, The hospitals are running out of space, running out of... I don't know how far this is going to go. I mean, maybe I'll do another one as it goes on, maybe in March, this April. So maybe in May or, middle of May or so, another month from now, I'll, do another backup or another podcast and see, let you know if it's getting better or worse, Like I said, this is for future people. So, if you like listening to podcasts, at least this is something you can just have a listen and say, did this really happen? I can't believe I'm living through it. I've gone through, gone through a lot, just normal things. So I've never ever seen this before in my lifetime. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've never seen the planet shut down in my life. I mean, I wasn't around for the pandemic of 1918. Not that old yet. But, I've never seen anything like this before. Never. This is a horror story. So, you have people who have to go to work, essential workers, frontline workers, people who have to help these people who are getting sick in the hospitals. They're pretty scared, Nurses and doctors and all these essential workers, they're scared of going to work. They're scared they're going to bring it home to their families. But they're doing it. They're doing it. And I think almost every night they blow their whistles and they blow the horns and they clap from their balconies and to let the essential workers know that they really appreciate it. And here in St. John's down on our harbour, all the boats started blowing their horns. I mean, it was amazing. And the cars were, anybody who was in their windows and stuff were clapping. And so take your breath away. We got, I don't know, a million applications for employment insurance because people are out of work. Just nobody working. Like I said, only the essential workers. And, yeah, it's a very sad time in my life, in this lifetime. 2020 started out in January. Didn't start very good. We already had a state of emergency for a snowstorm that we had here in Newfoundland, or in St. John. Yeah, well, Newfoundland. But we went only a couple of weeks before all this happened. We were in a state of emergency and had to be shut down. Our whole city was shut down. We couldn't, no shopping, no nothing. We couldn't do anything for almost a week, and people were going off their heads. Then now, not long after that, we end up being a virus. It's shutting us in our home. But anyway, that's about it for now. If I think I'd like to do another podcast, probably in May or so, just to, just like I said, for future generations, so they can listen to what happened, from people. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos of people who lived through the 1918. They're 99, they're so they still remember. They were like 10 years old, and they remember what they went through. And when I was listening to them on YouTube, their video, I was like, they lived through that. They went through that. And they didn't have a lockdown because they didn't deal with it that way. It was just, it happened so fast too, And they didn't have the technology and that what we have today, so they lost a lot more people. So today we won't lose as many. We don't want to lose anybody. But that's it, it's what we're going to go through right now, and we're all going to love each other, and so you stay safe, keep the love in your heart, and take care of each other from far apart. Goodbye, Allison Prior.